guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at another 2018 Papo figure. I myself am a huge fan of Papo, and this is their Amargasaurus. Now, as I just mentioned, I am a huge fan of Papo. I really love their figures, and in fact, the original brown Papo Rex that I had purchased was the very first dinosaur figure that I really purchased and got into collecting dinosaurs. I've always loved dinosaurs since I was a kid. I used to buy the toys constantly, but it wasn't until I visited a museum and saw the big brown Papo Rex, the standing version, that I really was in love with the idea of collecting dinosaur models and stuff. So once I purchased that one, it got me straight into collecting dinosaurs. So there's a little backstory for you guys. But this Amargasaurus, and let me be the first to say that I love Amargasaurus. I really do. It's one of my favorite sauropods that has ever existed. It is just absolutely beautiful. But this Amargasaurus, he's not really the best Amargasaurus in the world. Now, honestly, when I saw the promotional pictures for him, I was really unhappy with it. I thought, wow, I expected way more out of Papo when it came to an Amargasaurus. I just didn't think he looked very good. I thought he looked kind of cartoonish and not up to their standards. But when I got this guy, I will say that he definitely looks much better in person than I thought he would be, but he still isn't the best. I mean, I don't know, there's just something about him that kind of looks a little strange to me, but it's not a bad figure at all. I really actually do like him a lot, but I just feel like he could have been a lot better. But anyway, let's take a closer look at him. Starting up here at the head, and I think this is honestly the area that has kind of the problem for me. I don't really know what it is about this head, but something about it just looks strange to me. I don't really have any idea what it is. I just can't figure it out. And honestly, if you actually look at the eye looks pretty good on this side. Over here, that's really sloppily done. The yellow paint kind of runs all over the place around the eye, and I don't think it's supposed to do that. So that is actually quite shocking as far as Papo goes, because they normally don't ever do that. I've never really had an eye issue at all with any of my figures before, so this is brand new as far as Papo goes, and it's kind of upsetting. The overall head sculpt isn't that bad. You can see some nicely sculpted nostrils there, and you can see the teeth. I can't really get inside the mouth to see what coloration or if there are any details or anything inside the mouth. It kind of looks like there's a tongue in there, but the mouth is so small and it's so dark in there you really just can't get in to see. The head sculpt doesn't look terrible, but I really honestly cannot put my finger on it. What it is that I don't really like about it, it's just kind of strange. And then coming back, you can see that the little sail here on the back is sculpted beautifully. There are lots and lots of little details on it, cracks and crevices, and you know, basically the detail that it would look like in real life. It looks really quite nice, and it is painted nicely. It really is. The sculpt work on the neck looks pretty good too. It doesn't look amazing. I don't know. Something about it just, it doesn't feel like it's Papo to me, but it doesn't look bad. It's really nice. And I would say it's a very nice figure for any other company, really, but for some reason, Papo, I just expect a little more as far as the little minute details and stuff. And even with the paint job, a lot of Papo's dinosaur figures have really beautiful paint jobs, and not, again, to say this one is bad, because it's not, but I just feel like it's just a little lackluster. But it's not, again, the worst thing in the world. Papo has had worse figures than this guy, so I can't give him the lowest grade of all. You can see some nice skin folds right here by the shoulder area, and you can actually see the shoulder poking out, so that is nice. Nice attention to detail. Some sculpt work here, some skin folds coming down into the leg. The feet are sculpted nicely. You see the claw sticking out of the side of the feet there. Coming up, there are some nice skin folds here in the stomach region. Very nice sculpt work here. The back looks really nice, in my opinion. You can see a mixture of stripes that run along it, of red and like an orangish color. So that looks nice. Some more skin folds here, right on the upper part of the leg. Some beautiful muscle tone in the back leg here in the thigh area. You can see some nice kneecaps and a little bit more skin folds coming down into the feet. The nails are painted pretty nicely. They look pretty good. No gloss or anything on the nails, but they look nice regardless. Some more nice sculpt work up here into the back and the tail. The underside really looks quite nice too. Definitely looks pretty good. Beautiful sculpt work all over. And then the tail is pretty long, a little curve there at the end. And then looking at the other side again, that sail right there looks very nicely done. Honestly, that sail area right there might be probably my favorite part of the dinosaur model. It looks really, really good, and the sculpt work on it is quite incredible. And then some more skin folds as you come down the neck. This front leg here is starting to lift up, so it's really scrunched up the skin here. Nice attention to detail right there by Papo. Some more skin folds here. Nice skin folding and sculpt work here in the stomach region. And then again the hip area. Back legs aren't really doing too much, so there isn't too much motion to be seen on the animal. And then the tail again looks very nice. Really like the sculpt of the back. It looks very good. So overall, it is not at all a bad Amargasaurus. It's actually really quite nice, but again, like I said, there's just something about it that I can't quite pick up on, that it doesn't feel like a Papo figure to me. But it is a very nice Amargasaurus regardless. Now Papo, so far from the figures that I've gotten this year, they've had a pretty good lineup of figures, a lot of very cool dinosaurs, and honestly they haven't had very many carnivores this year, which is pretty surprising because it's one thing that Papo really seems to do. They really thrive on their carnivores, but this year they haven't really had too many. A lot more herbivores than normal, which is definitely, in my opinion, not a bad thing, because that is one of the things that I feel like Papo kind of lacks, is a lot of herbivores. So maybe the 2018 lineup was their attempt to try to catch up and even it up a little bit, which they did not even it up, but they at least got a good start. Definitely a lot of very cool models. And this guy is probably my least favorite out of all the 2018 Papo models, but again, that's not saying that this is a bad figure by any means, because it is not. It is a really nice Amargasaurus. Like I've mentioned numerous times, there is something about it that I just don't really know why, but it doesn't feel like a Papo model, but it does still look very nice. As far as the size goes, from the head to the tail, you are looking at about 9.5 inches, pretty much on the dot right there, actually. Look at that. 9.5 inches on the dot. And then height, he's just over 3 inches at probably the highest point. For a size comparison, you can see Mr. Papo Rex is quite larger than the Amargasaurus. The Amargasaurus is pretty small compared to him, so that'll make a nice meal for your Papo Tyrannosaurus Rex if he gets hungry. I do really like the coloration on it, but I feel like they could have went with something a little more flashy, maybe. I don't know, something about Papo. They always love to have these darker colorations on their animals, and that's, in my opinion, a good thing, because I really feel like a lot of the time their models really look like a real coloration, like something that's very realistic, and I could definitely see a dinosaur being. But I don't know, something about this guy, I just feel like this brown with the red along the back and stuff isn't exactly a good color scheme for him. I feel like he could have been a little better, and maybe a more... honestly, he actually kind of looks better on this side for some reason than he does on the other side, in my opinion. I don't really know why. It's very strange. But overall, he is very nice. I feel like I said, maybe a better color scheme would have helped this model a little bit, made it stand out a little more to me, because as you can see, it's kind of just a very blah color scheme, and although they've done similar color schemes with sauropods in the past, like the Brachiosaurus and the Apatosaurus, I felt like the color schemes on them looked really good and really worked out quite well for them. And this one is a little flashier than normal Papo with that red on the back, but for some reason it just doesn't look great to me. I do like the white underside. I think that looks very cool. And again, this isn't a bad color scheme, like I've been mentioning. I don't want anybody to think that I am trash-talking this figure, because I honestly really do like it. I think that the color scheme works, it just could have been something a little better, and I kind of want to buy one just to repaint it, maybe to show you guys what I think it could have looked better as. But regardless, it's still not a bad figure. It's definitely a very nice figure, and it's nowhere near the worst of Papo, because, well, honestly, Papo hasn't had too many figures that are bad, but that Tylosaurus they had a long time ago. But either way, this guy's not terrible. He's definitely a nice Amargasaurus, so I will link you guys in the description as to where you can purchase this guy if you do want to grab one. And please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.